Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Ananya Banerjee from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Modern Science. My today's topic is RAPD, that is Random Amplified Polymorphic DNA. RAPD or Random Amplified Polymorphic DNA are among the most popular genetic markers. Now, before getting into the detail of RAPD, first we need to know what are markers. A marker is a gene of known function and location which allows studying the inheritance of that gene. So, it can be defined as a piece of DNA molecule that is associated with a certain trait of organism. It can be followed in mapping population. A marker must be polymorphic, that is, it must exist in different forms so that chromosomes carrying the mutant gene can be distinguished from the chromosome with the normal gene by marker. Now, a marker can be classified into several groups. For example, molecular or genetic markers and morphological markers. Now, what are molecular or genetic markers? A genetic marker is a gene or DNA sequence with a known location on a chromosome that can be used to identify individuals or species. It can be described as the observation in the variation which may has occurred due to mutation or alteration in the genomic loci. A genetic marker may be a short DNA sequence such as a sequence surrounding a single base pair change referred to as single nucleotide polymorphism or SNP, or a long one like mini satellites. Now, these genetic markers can again be classified into many categories, in which RAPD comes under the category of PCR-based DNA molecular marker. Now, what is RAPD and when do we need RAPD? RAPD or Random Amplified Polymorphic DNA is usually found in the plural as RAPDS, which is often pronounced as rapids, partly because it is a quick way to get a lot of information about the genes of an organism under investigation. It is a polymerase chain reaction based molecular marker technique belonging to the broad group of technique called Multiple Arbitrary Amplification Profiling or MAP. RAPD uses a set of single arbitrary short primers of 8 to 12 nucleotides, resulting in the amplification of many discrete DNA. The segments of DNA that are amplified are random. Unlike traditional PCR analysis, RAPD does not require any specific knowledge of the DNA sequence of the target organism. The identical 10-mer primers will or will not amplify a segment of DNA will depend on the presence of positions that are complementary to the primer sequence. For example, no fragment is produced if the primers annealed too far apart from one another or 3' end of the primers are not facing each other. Therefore, if a mutation has occurred in the template DNA at the site that was previously complementary to the primer, a PCR product will not be produced, resulting in a different pattern of amplified DNA segments on the gel. Just because no knowledge of the DNA sequence of the targeted genome is required for preparing the primer, this makes the method popular for comparing the DNA of biological systems which are under research and are not having any sequence information. Genetic analysis can be carried out in these organisms using RAPD. Random Amplified Polymorphic DNA or RAPD was developed by Williams et al. In the year 1990. Nowadays, RAPD is also used to characterize and trace the phylogeny of diverse animals and plant species. Now Now let us see a comparative studies between the components which are required in PCR and RAPD reaction. In PCR, it requires buffer which contain magnesium plus 2 ion in it, template DNA, 2 primers, that is forward and reverse primer, which are needed that will flank the fragment of DNA which is to be amplified. DNTPs, tag DNA polymerase are needed for the PCR reaction. Whereas in case of RAPD, buffers containing magnesium plus 2 ion is needed. Usually, high magnesium plus 2 ion concentrations are used, lowering the annealing stringency. Template DNA is needed. 1 short primer of 10 bases, not known to anneal to any specific part of the template DNA, is taken. DNTPs are needed. Tag DNA polymerase or any other thermally stable DNA polymerase are needed in case of RAPD. Let us now discuss about the steps of RAPD analysis. The DNA of selected species is first isolated. An excess of selected deca oligonucleotide primer, tag DNA polymerase, buffer and DNTPs are added. This mixture is kept in a PCR thermocycler. DNA is denatured by programming the thermocycler at 90 degrees centigrade for 1 minute. During this process, the DNA strands will be separated. The temperature will then be lowered to 36 degrees centigrade, allowing the deca oligonucleotide primer to pair with the homologous sequence present at different locations in the DNA. As the primers are very short, they often anneal to the genomic DNA at multiple sites. Some primers anneal in proper orientation and at a suitable distance from each other to support amplification of the unknown sequence between them. Among the set of amplified fragments are the ones that can be amplified from some genomic DNA samples but not from others, which means that the presence or absence of amplified fragment is polymorphic in the population of organism. Once the primers have annealed the template, the temperature is again raised to 72 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes for the DNA replication to extend the deca oligonucleotide primer and copy the sequence continuous with the sequence with which the selected oligonucleotide primer has paired. The repeated 35 to 45 cycles of denaturation, renaturation, DNA replication will amplify this sequence of DNA. Amplification will take place only of those regions of the genome that has the sequence complementary to the deca oligonucleotide primer at their both ends. After several cycles of amplification, the DNA is subjected to gel electrophoresis. The amplified DNA will form a distinct band. It is detected by ethidium bromide staining and visible fluorescence under UV light. In this slide, an example of a microbial sample collected from different polluted sites are subjected to RAPD. The two samples, they are represented as a sample which is collected from site A and another sample which is collected from site B. Both of them, they are subjected to RAPD, and after subsequent RAPD reactions, when both samples they are electrophoresed, the size of the amplified fragments they are detected and compared, and from this particular result we can clearly see the monomorphic and the polymorphic bands which are obtained while doing this particular test. Now, advantages of RAPD. No species-specific probes are required for different species in case of RAPD. That is, polymorphic markers providing primers are same in case of each and every species, whether it be a tobacco plant or a maize plant. Data can be collected very quickly, for about 5 minutes time is required in case of RAPD. Crude DNA preparation may be used for analysis of the whole genome, however, it does not detect the allelic variants. only small amount of DNA, say for example about 15 to 20 microgram is required to work with population. This particular RAPD process does not require blotting or hybridization. High number of fragments are produced in this RAPD process. It detects dominant variation in the genome, and also the unit cost per assay are low compared to the other marker technologies. In spite of having many advantages and application, RAPD have some limitations as well. Nearly all RAPD markers are dominant, that is, it is not possible to distinguish whether a DNA segment is amplified from a locus that is heterozygous or homozygous. Co-dominant RAPD markers observed as different sized DNA segments amplified from the same locus are detected only rarely. PCR is an enzymatic reaction, therefore, the quality and concentration of the template DNA, concentration of PCR components, and the PCR cycling conditions may greatly influence the outcome. Thus, the RAPD technique is notoriously laboratory dependent and needs carefully developed laboratory protocols to be reproducible. Mismatches between the primer and the template may result in the total absence of PCR product as well as in a merely decreased amount of the product. Thus, RAPD results can be difficult to interpret. More or less, lack of prior knowledge on the identity of the amplification product and the problems in reproducibility can cause a lot of challenges while using RAPD. Lastly, applications of RAPD. RAPD is used as genetic marker to construct genetic maps. For example, using RAPD, genetic maps have been prepared for many like Arabidopsis, Helianthus, pines, etc. RAPD can also be used in mapping the genetic traits. Like RFLP, RAPD is used for indirect selection of segregating population through the tagging of genes of high economic values such as resistant traits against pathogens in many crop plants, for example barley, maize, pea, rice, potato, tomato, wheat, etc. It is also used in population and evolutionary genetics. It can also be used while studying genetic diversity and polymorphism. It is also used in germplasm characterization, in hybrid purity. It is also used in fingerprinting. It can also be used in plant and animal breeding. It is also used in animal-plant microbe interaction studies and also used while studying pesticide-herbicide resistance as well. Thank you. If you like my video, do like and subscribe.